This week on UND Insider Weekly, the weekend for women's hockey doesn't go as planned. Men's basketball gets a solid win before coming up just short against Portland State. And women's basketball starts their homestand with two dominant wins. Coach Travis Brewster will talk about those wins and how the team is doing so far in conference play. Plus a bonus Coach's Corner with the new head coach of volleyball, Mark Pryor. He'll join the panel to talk about taking the reins of the Big Sky regular season champions. And Olympic-bound players sat down to talk about their journey to Sochi. All this week on UND Insider Weekly. Welcome to UND Insider Weekly alongside Tom Miller and Brad Schlossman from the Grand Forks Herald and Paul Ralston from UND Athletics. I'm Tim Hennessy. Miller and Schloss come back. They made it back from Denver finally, huh, boys?
Barely.
Our spots weren't filled in our absence.
Yeah.
Well, let's start talking about the women's hockey series this past weekend. Phil, the Bowl went great on Friday night with 5,600 some fans, I believe. But the game not so good. What happened there, Brad?
Well, I think special teams were the key to this game here. Minnesota went 3 for 3 on the power play. UND had 2 seconds of power play time in the last 2 seconds of the game, so essentially no power plays, and that's a huge part of the game. And you know, when you're playing shorthanded against the best team in the country, giving them an extra man advantage doesn't help out too much, and we saw that this weekend. Gopher scored on their first 5 power play chances of the weekend.
5 straight power play goals. Well, 2 things. Obviously, you got to kill penalties a little better against a quality team like that, but you got to stay out of the box, obviously.
Yeah, you got to try to stay out of the box. I mean, 3 power plays in a game isn't a whole lot, but you know, when they score on all 3 of them, it looks pretty bad. So, you know, they're not going to play another team like Minnesota this year. So it'll be more interesting when they play Duluth this weekend. They're missing 2 girls from there to the Olympics. UND's missing 3. If they could get Megan Defoe back, that would help their team speed. They didn't have a lot of it this weekend.
And with those 2 losses, there's not a lot of room for error right now in the pairwise. I think you mentioned in one of your postings that right now they're sitting in a tie for 8th in the pairwise. So this weekend is a big weekend for UND women's hockey.
It's huge because Duluth is a team that's going to help their RPI because they're a decent team and they have a decent record. And this could go a long way into determining whether they're going to make the tournament or not as an at-large team. Of course, this team actually has the ability to win the postseason title, I think, and get an auto bid that way because they're going to be at full strength for that tournament, and we've already seen they can beat anyone when they're at full strength.
And it can be an argument made, obviously, but Coach Adolski knew going in that he was going to be without these players when he recruited them, for that matter.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the season as a whole, you would rather have them for the 4 months and let them go for the month than not have them at all.
Next, we'll turn to men's basketball on the road at Eastern Washington and Portland State. And Paul was with them, got a good win on Thursday, and had a chance to win on Saturday. Huh?
Yeah, getting a road split, not the end of the world, but I think probably this basketball team feels that they had a great opportunity on Saturday to walk out of Pacific Northwest with 2 wins. They had a lead at the half. Wasn't a perfectly played first half, but they managed to get a lead at the half against Portland State and just weren't able to hold it. Got off to kind of a slow start in the second half and kind of had to work their way back after that slow start and had a chance to tie inside the final seconds, and maybe just a little bit of anxiousness, or they were a little unaware of the clock and the situation, didn't probably get the shot that they wanted. Had a chance to go in for Aaron Anderson, didn't get it to go to win the game. But you know, I think North Dakota will definitely take that win against Eastern Washington on Thursday. They really played a solid game defensively and really showed some flashes of some unbelievable acrobatics and some showtime as well with their offensive skills on the road. And that was definitely a fun win for them. But now another road test looms for this UND men's team.
How about that game, first of all, Thursday with Weber State? And I think Coach Jones told me, he said, well, if our guys aren't ready for a fist fight for 40 minutes, we're not going to be in the game.
Well, Weber State might come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. The way they made Sports Center. Sacramento State dropped them with a 75-footer by Dylan Garrity. That was a wild finish to that game. I believe 3 technicals in the final 15 seconds of overtime. 0.7 seconds, a 3-pointer from Weber State. Sacramento State counters with 3/4 length of the court shot.
And when they came here, they were coming off a big loss to Northern Colorado, too, weren't they? So
Yeah, exactly. It's set up
Great
real
time,
nicely.
Coach.
Thank you.
The reality of it is that this conference, it's so difficult to pick up road wins. You look at Northern Colorado this past weekend, they both lost at Portland State and Eastern Washington. So North Dakota got 1 of 2, had a great chance at 2, but you got to try pick one up. Now I think it's probably more, way this conference is kind of condensing itself record-wise. Boy, you have to find one this weekend, and if you can find 2, that much better, but it's definitely going to be a tough one on Thursday.
Women's basketball team gets to stay home against the same opponents. Tom, they're spreading it around quite well, that team, and they're winning the games that they should win.
Yeah, and for a first-place team, all of a sudden you get a player at the level of Michaela Dyer who comes in and can give you, some scoring inside and outside, and you were already doing just fine, and then all of a sudden you get kind of a gift like that to come along. And it's just solidified their team, added a new element, and they were really impressive this weekend.
Are we seeing just the tip of the proverbial iceberg with her?
I think so. I think she's getting more and more comfortable in that, when a scorer like that starts to get comfortable, somebody who can get to the free throw line a lot, I think that's going to really help that team.
I think teams, especially, most of the Big Sky teams probably get tired of just the overwhelming size that we bring on the interior. It wears on you. I mean, you may have one talented big player if you're another Big Sky school, but you're going to have to sub her and give her a breather every now and then, and North Dakota can just keep going to the well with Evers and Wall, and then you have a player that plays big despite her size, and Maya Lloyd. So it wears on teams after a while, and we've seen that this season.
I think it was Maddie Buck. Was it the Thursday game? She had 1 point, or was it Saturday, 1 point at halftime, and then pours in 16. You got somebody like that can almost turn it on and off. That's something that you don't see every day too.
She's a stat filler. You talk about Evers and Wall, and then you don't even mention you got Maddie Buck here on the boards, and Lloyd, and guards that are long and can rebound too. So they make up for some deficiencies in other areas by just out rebounding people.
At home, 2 games they should win, right?
This is almost the first time they've been fully healthy too, or with Dyer and with Lloyd back in the lineup. So we haven't really seen them with a full team until recently.
And certainly this weekend going to be huge for this women's team. They got to keep this momentum and hold serve at home over 2 teams that they have a significant gap on right now as far as record, and they got to take care of business. It starts Thursday night, and then I think it's going to be real interesting to see the finish, because there's going to be that opportunity possibly for hosting the Big Sky Conference women's basketball tournament at the end of the season. So that little carrot's dangling out there, and it will get bigger as we get further along in the schedule.
Certainly, we had all the answers there, didn't we? Coming up, so far, his team has been dominant during their 4-game homestand. Coach Travis Brewster joins us to talk about how his team has performed and what's up ahead.
The great thing about snowboarding is the adventure. All day long, you're finding different ways of doing different things, and it's never the same. I don't mind snowboarding alone, but if you've got your friends up there on the mountain and you guys can all cruise down together, it's a really, really fun time. Snowboarding has been really fun and really rewarding for me, and I want it to be fun and rewarding for my customers as well. I'm Lindsay McKinstry, and I'm one of the snowboard experts at Shields.
Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
North Dakota is facing challenges in healthcare delivery. The University of North Dakota School of Medicine and Health Sciences is building a place to help meet the state's healthcare needs. In addition to a new structure, we're also building interaction between healthcare professionals while building a workforce through expanding class sizes. We're inspiring our youth to engage in healthcare careers and exploring ways to reduce disease. It starts here and ends here, building a better future for North Dakota.
The action is fast, the excitement is high, and the National Collegiate Hockey Conference playoffs are coming. Now's your chance to be part of history by securing your spot at the inaugural NCHC Frozen Face-Off on March 21st and 22nd at Target Center. For more information on purchasing tickets, visit nchchockey.com.
Right Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
For 50 years, the Big Sky Conference has been showing the world who we are and how we play. 50 years of authenticity, hard work, community, and 50 years of playing to win. But remembering that our mission is bigger than winning. We're the Big Sky, the heart of Division I, the heart of the American West.
UND Insider Weekly is sponsored by Shields, Gear, Passion Sports, by Burger King, where taste is king, and by The Ground Round.
After 2 solid wins last week, the women's basketball team continues their 4-game homestand. Catch Weber State Thursday at 7, Idaho State Saturday at 2 p.m. Tickets available at the Ralph Engelstad box office or online at UNDsports.com. The head coach of the first place women's basketball team is Travis Brewster, and he joins us now. Nice ring to that first place, huh, Travis?
It's all perspective. We all got to take care of business right now.
You should be jumping up and down. What are you talking about?
Got a long ways to go yet, my man.
Halfway through, right?
Halfway.
How about the weekend? You didn't seem to have a whole big problem with Eastern Washington and Portland State. Easy for me to say, huh?
Well, I think we were playing pretty well. We did a nice job defensively. It was the big key for us. I thought with Eastern Washington, we stuck to the game plan. Portland State, we kind of caught them off guard a little bit, and we took it to them.
You look at just kind of the play of Maddie Buck, obviously, but Maya Lloyd, we've talked a lot about her. But there are other players, Siri Burke made some plays for you in each game, and it seems like wherever you're turning, you're getting little contributions. That goes a long ways in all your conference games, getting contributions throughout your lineup.
Yeah, I think if you look at what we've been talking about all year long was having a team concept. I think Kelsey Knox has probably flown on the radar the most for us right now. She's done a heck of a job. She's played 2 positions for us, the point guard position, the off guard. I think if you look at also, Michaela Dyers came in and gave us a lift as well in the scoring punch. We're just getting contributions when we need it, and they're timely, but at the same time, it's something that we practice night in and night out, day in and day out. So, hopefully we keep that going.
With you guys exceeding your preseason expectations, where are you guys performing that maybe some of the pollsters didn't expect you guys to have this kind of punch somewhere?
Well, I guess I don't really look at the pollsters a whole lot, but you can't measure the work ethic of a team. You can't measure the heart of a team. I think one of the things that's probably most surprising is the rebounding part of it, and rebounding is a lot of effort. You look at that part of it, that's huge. But I think the other part too is that we're a little bit more mentally tough right now when we're playing, and we're doing a nice job of it.
How is a 5'10" player that kind of a dominant force in the Big Sky on the boards?
Oh, that's sure will. You know what I mean? Her and Maddie Buck are very similar in their mentality, how they perform. I think if you look at Maya, what she's been accomplishing, she's sticking to her game plan of what's going to help the team be successful. Maddie Buck is doing that as well. I think we're getting a good lift from Leah Zabla as well at the point guard spot. And then you look at our 2 bigs. They've done a nice job down there playing off of each other. But when you have Maya just crashing the boards relentlessly night in and night out, and then you got Maddie Buck who will D you up, she'll rebound, she'll score. It just makes it tough for everybody.
This week is Weber State and Idaho State at home. Got to take care of business, right? Yeah,
Weber State's a very deceptive team. They're very athletic. They get up and down the floor well. They're just dangerous. Idaho State is playing much better than when we played them earlier in the year. They're doing a tremendous job on the defensive end, what I saw in film. They're starting to put the ball in the hole a little bit. So, again, 2 teams that are very different but yet similar. Idaho State, very defensive-minded. Weber State, more so offensive-minded, but both are strong in guard play.
Coach, thanks for coming on. Best of luck against those 2 teams at the Betty this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Still to come, the 3 current student athletes heading to Sochi sat down to discuss what it's like to be Olympic bound. Plus, a bonus Coach's Corner. The man who was on a full-fledged media blitz, brand new head volleyball coach Mark Pryor, will join us next on UND Insider Weekly.
Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Life is busy, but many professionals are finding ways to advance their career with a Master's in Business Administration at the University of North Dakota. Students attend UND online and on campus. The program is nationally recognized and emphasizes one-on-one with faculty. Find the title you deserve. Enroll today.
The 2014 WCHA Final Face-Off is coming to Bemidji. See the best of women's college hockey compete for the WCHA Conference Championship. Catch all the action on Friday, March 7th and Saturday, March 8th at the Sanford Center. Tickets are on sale now with general admission as low as $15. Available at the Bob Loth Ford pickup windows at the Sanford Center, Lucan's Village Foods, charge by phone or at Ticketmaster.com. It's the WCHA Final Face-Off, Friday and Saturday, March 7th and 8th at the Sanford Center, Bemidji.
Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Winter fashion is a wonderland, and you'll find all the season's best looks waiting for you at Shields. So let it snow.
UND Insider Weekly returns in 2 weeks with head men's basketball coach Brian Jones in the Coach's Corner, and Paul hits the court for another edition of Pro Tips. Catch the episode February 19th at 8 on UNDsports.com, Friday, February 21st at 5:30 on Midco Sports Network. This year's Winter Olympics is being held in Sochi, Russia. Out of the 12 representing UND in this year's Olympiad, 3 are still current student athletes. They sat down to talk about what it's like to be Olympic bound.
Well, I think it's going to be a really fun experience. It's always fun when you get to compete against the best in the world. It's going to be like a really unique experience because it's not just another world championship, it's the Olympics.
I don't think there's anything that I'm unsure. Like, I think the food's going to be really international, so there's going to be like maybe German bread, hopefully.
I think we were like in the food court, and one day I was sitting eating my cereal, and like the Swedish king walked in. I was like, wow. Like, and the next day again eating my cereal, Arnold Schwarzenegger walked in, and I was like, okay, well I better get used to this. You know, so many familiar faces and stuff like that. It was kind of like a funny experience. So I'll be playing with 21. It's been my national team number, so yeah, I'll keep playing with that.
I'm gonna wear the 23 since I can't wear it here. I've been having a 23 for a couple years now for the national team, so I'm gonna stay with that.
I have the same number in there, so I'm 77 there, so I'm so excited to have it there. It's my first time to have it in the national team too. So
if you look at like also like the U.S. and Canada team, like there's some players there, and yeah, it's gonna be really exciting to kind of be together. You kind of have the same kind of like background, so.
I think the teachers have helped a lot. Like they understand that I'm going to Olympics, and it's a really big event for athletes, and everyone has been really understanding and helped a lot.
I personally look forward to see Germany's jackets at the opening ceremony.
Yeah, so am I. That's gonna be something special, that's for sure. Well, I look forward to like meeting new players, new athletes that I didn't know before, and just get some new connections.
It goes so quick.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll make time to like hang out and also see Joss and Mo there as well. It's gonna be fun to kind of be there together.
And especially, even though you're competing, you're still a friend, so we can be enemies just because you play against each other in the Olympics.
New head volleyball coach Mark Pryor joins us for a bonus Coach's Corner. How you doing, Mark?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Good.
Good to be here.
We're looking forward to volleyball season now.
Hey, only about
the pressure's on.
Absolutely. only about 6 months away, so we're getting excited.
Boy, it is that long, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It is.
Crazy.
So you've gotten together with the team.
Right.
And that's probably the first thing that you wanted to do other than all the press and the media blitz that you've done. So getting together with them has to have been eye-opening and exciting for you.
It really, it was, someone asked me how, what was it like and this and that, and I go, it was very uneventful. It was great. The kids were ready to get going. They were excited. They were happy that there's a coach in place. They were happy that I'm keeping the staff. So they're pleased with the continuity. I think that's probably the thing that they're most pleased with. And student athletes are going to perform best when they stay in their routine as much as possible. So that was really a lot of the rationale why we decided what we decided.
As you get to know your roster a little bit as a new coach, what jumps out to you as far as maybe a strength or a weakness, or have you got a chance to kind of assess what the talent is that's coming back?
Well, I think if you look at it, when you look at who's coming back, when you've got your setter coming back, your libero coming back, you've got both of your outside hitters coming back, that's a positive. The right side position this year was a little up and down with a lot of kids playing, but all of those kids that playing, well, they're all back. So we just got to find the one that's going to play the best in that spot. Replacing the two middles is always going to be an issue, but it's just next man up. I mean, we've got kids on the roster that are going to be ready to go. We'll just put them in positions to be successful, not really ask them to lead like Munkeby and Parledge did last year. Just ask them, do your job and produce. We'll worry about all the intangible stuff later. You just do your job. I'm really excited to get a chance to, I've talked with the recruits that are coming in that I've already signed. 2 of those kids are middles, so that will give us further depth in that position. I'm really anxious. We get in the gym tomorrow for the first time to really let me get a chance to evaluate and to see. And they know I'm excited to get in there, and I think they're a little nervous but excited to, okay, let me show Coach what I can do.
Here's a question that I found this out this year while broadcasting volleyball games was, supposedly, apparently, we're not supposed to refer to sets as games anymore. And tell us why that is. I guess I didn't realize it was such a big deal to refer to a set as a game or anything of that nature. Right. But apparently, the establishment gets a little worked up about it.
Well, it's similar to the terminology is going to be a little similar to tennis.
Right.
And that's really where it comes from. But yes, there are certain people that will be very, very upset when it's when you say those things. The same thing with the term. Certain people are going to call the person that plays in the back row with a different color jersey the libero.
Yeah.
Now, if you're where I'm from, then it's the libero. Okay, and that's just how we pronounce it. But that's just it's terminology, and all that I care is that when that game or set is over, we have more points than the other one does. That's the important thing.
Fair enough.
I call her the gal that's wearing the different color jersey.
Well, that works too.
That's what I refer to her as. Hey, there's that one with a different color jersey.
Outstanding.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Mark Pryor is the new volleyball coach at UND. And coming up, we listened to the panel, and they said they wanted both of the new coaches in the Coach's Corner. Now we'll see how good the answers get out of these guys when we start talking about what they're looking forward to.
UND Insider Weekly is sponsored by Shields, Gear, Passion, Sports, by Burger King, where taste is king, and by The Ground Round.
For 50 years, the Big Sky Conference has been showing the world who we are and how we play. 50 years of authenticity, hard work, community, and 50 years of playing to win.
The FCS
But remembering that our mission is bigger than winning. We're the Big Sky, the heart of Division I, the heart of the American West.
Welcome back. All the teams are busy this weekend, which means these guys will be as well. Let's find out what they're looking forward to this week. First of all, Tom, let's go with you.
I'll say UND men's basketball gets another crack at Weber State, a chance to kind of close that gap maybe from Weber starting to pull away a little bit. UND's kind of sinking back in that third spot. Time to close that gap a little bit.
Brad.
Well, who's not looking forward to Nebraska-Omaha coming to town? They won the game 8-6 in their last outing, so I think that's going to be great. But in addition to that, the Olympics start on Saturday, and USA-Finland women's game to kick it off, and I think that's going to be a real good one.
The Lammers against Karvinen.
Karvinen and Tapani,
that's right.
Max Markowitz trying to coach against the Lammers.
Yeah, about that, Paul. You'll be with the men's basketball team. What else are you looking at?
I'm looking at women's hockey out in Duluth. Obviously, roster depleted somewhat, and seeing how they continue to evolve as a team. I'm also looking to see if the PGA Tour makes more tournaments like the Waste Management Open this past weekend, because was that ever a party watching that on TV? And I think they should do that more often. I really enjoyed watching that circus that they had out there at the 16th green. But mostly women's hockey, I want to see exactly just how they respond from this tough weekend and with a big road series out in Duluth.
I'm looking forward to the men's hockey series with Nebraska-Omaha and seeing Dean Blaze again. Okay, gentlemen, thank you. We will return Friday, February 19th with an all-new edition of Insider Weekly. For Tom Miller, Brad Schlossman, and Paul Ralston, I'm Tim Hennessy. We'll see you next time.